Jimmy Donaldson and the MrBeast Collective has been in some pretty hot water recently.
I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live.
I'm not sure MrBeast can come back from this, quite frankly.
So it seems to me like this is more of a pattern behavior.
I'm a former MrBeast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay?
You know, you can't keep, I don't know, the crap down. It comes out.
He was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me and he was like Lex Luthor over there.
He might have violated like international crimes against humanity. The Geneva Conventions were violated and the ICC might need to like intervene with the MrBeast franchise.
Whether it be Rosanna Pansino calling out MrBeast for unethical practices during a YouTuber hide-and-seek video, or a former MrBeast employee calling out Jimmy for promoting gambling to children and running scam merch lotteries, or the MrBeast Collective being called out for past unethical relationships with young fans. Criticism of MrBeast has even reached the New York Times, where reportedly conditions on set of the Amazon-funded Beast games were so horribly managed and maintained, contestants simply in need of money to pay off student loans and medical debt were subjected to subhuman treatment and were denied adequate medical care. And how did Jimmy Donaldson respond to said criticism? By uploading a video demonstrating and seemingly confirming every single point of criticism Jimmy has been the recipient of in his entire career. Today's broadcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Become a member today and unlock exclusive content at patreon.com/NorthstarRadio. MrBeast is the poster child of YouTube in the year 2024, gaining over 100 million subscribers just in the past year. Now, MrBeast's audience is very young, so they probably weren't even alive when MrBeast was reading the entire dictionary and counting to 100,000 in the early days of his channel. But I'm not very young, so I do remember this. I was in high school at the time. I didn't watch these old MrBeast videos, but I do remember seeing them on my feed. And ever since then, Jimmy Donaldson and MrBeast as an entity has always seemed off to me. Something so manufactured and orchestrated to the point that money is the only thing that matters to them, and their young, impressionable audience is their pathway to riches.
The average demographic is what, 13 through 17? Is that the biggest spike in your analytics?
Well, I mean, mine's horseshit. It says like 18 to 24, but I know all my fucking viewers are little kids.
I made a video criticizing Jimmy Donaldson quite some time ago in November 2023, where I compared his content to the classic show out of San Francisco, Mythbusters, but produced for a much dumber audience. Now, this analysis was a bit harsh to the general audience of MrBeast. I mean, I'll be honest. I'll watch a MrBeast video here and there if the topic interests me. The recent wilderness survival video, for example, was very entertaining. Ultimately, the overall theme of the video, my main criticism of MrBeast, was that his videos are insincere, mostly staged, whether it be an immense overuse of VFX or the obvious scripting and overdubbing of seemingly normal interactions. Overall, my video was rooted in a lot of emotion, as I didn't have much evidence to work off of, other than a few examples from a few videos. But recently, distrust in Jimmy Donaldson and the MrBeast Collective has reached a level of significance. And this time, with a lot more evidence. On July 24th, 2024, a YouTube channel by the name Dogpack404, someone claiming to be a former employee of MrBeast, uploaded a video titled, "I worked for MrBeast. He's a fraud."
Do you think attention is the most valuable currency in the world?
Well, of course. If you could post something and everyone in the world would watch it, you'd be the most powerful man on earth.
This video is incredible. And it dives deep into several major claims and criticisms of MrBeast and his business practices, specifically in how he conditions his young, impressionable audience.
Now, MrBeast intentionally manipulates these children's vulnerable minds for profit using 3 simple steps, which closely align with the 3 major types of behavioral learning. Step 1 is getting the viewer to associate the brand with trust and authority. MrBeast videos are real, and he's a great guy that gives away big rewards to his loyal followers. Step 2 is showing the viewers that when people interact with MrBeast in a way that benefits MrBeast, when they do what he tells them to do, they win big rewards.
Is he subscribed? You are subscribed. Here's some money. Have a good day.
And step 3 is finally calling on the viewer to act in some way that benefits the brand, promising big rewards in return. Now it's your turn to do what MrBeast tells you, and you will win big rewards. But you actually won't unless you're famous or friends or family of a MrBeast employee.
Jimmy Donaldson also makes incredibly false statements about the legitimacy of his videos, and just seems to outright lie about his videos not being scripted, I think.
A large part of MrBeast's brand is the fact that he doesn't fake videos.
I remember when I first started seeing your videos, I was like, this shit's gotta be fake.
Oh yeah, it's a huge problem for us now. I actually have to dial back my content sometimes just so people think it's real. But also, if what we had to film was scripted, you know, because what we do is non-scripted, so you have to plan for a bunch of variables that you can't control, blah, blah. If what we did was scripted, holy shit, this stuff would be easy to pump out.
This train track is CGI, these bus wheels are CGI, this explosion is fake, this shredder is CGI, this car is digitally lifted, this pit is fake, this guy is fake, this raccoon is a paid actor, this island costs more than $1, this city is Alabama, these buildings are CGI, it's not your only way out, you can literally get an Uber to the airport for $20. That's not a worker, it's just a guy. This whole room is fake, this contestant is an actor and a secret employee at MrBeast, hands out through this fake door twice, this line is scripted, this action is scripted. In fact, pretty much all the videos with Mac are scripted.
Jimmy Donaldson is also quite dishonest when it comes to the casting process for his videos. In the typical MrBeast video, contestants are introduced as regular people, or even fans of MrBeast. And while that certainly is the case sometimes, time and time again, contestants have been found to be MrBeast employees, or even just friends of Jimmy.
Let's talk about Mac for a second. I found public records showing that Mac moved from California to Greenville, North Carolina, where Jimmy is located, back in August 2023, 2 months before he appeared as a contestant. Who really cares? I mean, the videos are just for entertainment only, right? I mean, it's not like he's ever rigged the results of a challenge. That would be impossible because he films with hundreds of random subscribers, right? Wrong. Let's look at this video. Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers.
So many people had jobs.
Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager. I actually recognize a lot of people in this video, including Jimmy's own girlfriend. So yeah, the random subscribers you see in challenges are actually never random. They're almost always local to MrBeast, and oftentimes friends and family of MrBeast employees, or just the employees themselves.
A great thing this video achieves is the discovery of old MrBeast live stream giveaways, where not only was Jimmy Donaldson selling MrBeast sweatshirts, but within several random orders, he was also giving away $500, or $1,000, or $5,000. Not simply encouraging children to gamble, but literally creating a mechanism for children to gamble with their parents' money.
If you buy one of our limited edition 40 mil special shirts, we're celebrating 40 million subscribers with a really big video, then we will sign that shirt, and some of them will get random prizes like this. In 10 minutes, right, because we gotta give them time to do their cart, we'll give 2 orders $500 each. 5 minutes, someone's getting $3 grand in their order. In 5 minutes, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put $1,000 in a random order.
And this all isn't unethical simply because he's involving kids in gambling. Obviously, that's gross and highly illegal. But the real heinous part of this is that Jimmy knows how impressionable his young audience is. And he knows that gambling is a scam. He is knowingly scamming his audience that he claims to love oh so much simply to feed his money-hungry desires, I think. Now this video goes over a few more obvious scammy or at least scummy business ventures of Jimmy Donaldson, like the infamous MrBeast Burger, where to introduce the product, Jimmy built a brick and mortar restaurant, claiming that these would be built all across America, when in reality he was just starting a ghost kitchen brand.
I opened up the world's first free restaurant. And if that wasn't enough, I also paid people to eat at my restaurant. If you like what you saw in this video, you too can eat Beast Burgers. I literally just opened 300 restaurants all across America. But we only serve people through delivery apps. Basically, open up whatever you use and search MrBeast Burger. And you can order anything from our amazing and delicious menu.
Or the equally infamous Feastables chocolate bar, which was originally advertised as healthier than other chocolate bars, containing only 5 ingredients, and then very shortly after they changed the recipe to make it even more calorie and sugar rich than Hershey's.
Like Hershey's, for example, there's 10 ingredients, super processed. Our Feastables bars are 5 ingredients, and just all the ingredients are way higher quality. And it's infinitely better than the other options out there.
All in all, this video by Dogpack404 does an incredible job pointing out every single lie, scam, illegal lottery, and deceitful business practice Jimmy Donaldson and MrBeast have engaged in. And while this video is currently sitting at a staggering 11 million views, something even more damning was recently published. That being a New York Times MrBeast Exposé. On August 2nd, 2024, the New York Times published an article titled "Willing to Die for MrBeast and $5 million." The contestants in the internet star's Beast games expected outlandish challenges and signed contracts that acknowledge risks of serious injury and death. Still, few were prepared for the conditions on set. This article pinpoints not only the dangerous and risky challenges contestants will participate in, but also how they're more willing to attempt risky challenges even when something like death is on the table. Because the $5 million grand prize is so attractive to normal everyday people trying to pay off student debt or medical bills.
Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage.
During an intake process this year, several contestants told the New York Times that they had been asked whether they would be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. One contestant recalled being asked if she would be able to swim to shore if thrown overboard from a boat. Now, if these contestants say that they are able to swim to shore if thrown overboard from a boat, how much of that is the actual truth? And how much of that is a willingness to die for $5 million? Where they may not be able to swim to shore, but they're willing to try to swim to shore because $5 million is far too big a prize to not even attempt such a feat, even if death is on the table. With the contract reading, I understand that such activities may cause me death, illness, or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat stroke. However, the key part of this interview, the true expose, because let's be honest, any game show with risk involved has sort of a gross connotation, where people are willing to do so much to harm their own body simply for a chance to not continue their life in a near poverty state. This is quite literally the plot of Squid Game. But the key to this article is that the risk and danger involved in the Beast games went beyond the risky obstacles and challenges, but rather the day-to-day conditions on set were themselves risky and dangerous. reportedly dozens of people who participated in the first installment of Beast Games said that they had not received adequate food or medical care. One contestant even going over 20 hours without being given food.
I am not eating any food for the next 30 days.
And when people were finally fed, it was a meal consisting of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few raw vegetables. When it comes to inadequate medical care, it's reported that one woman said that when she and a group of contestants who were menstruating during the event had asked the production staff about getting their underwear more quickly, she had been told that it was, quote, not a medical emergency, and she recalled that a nearby member of the production staff had laughed at the women's pleading. Some competitors even suffered injuries from the physical challenges. People were leaving on stretchers, contestants were vomiting and appearing to pass out, even leading to several hospitalizations. What a wholesome children's game show. One contestant even went on record saying, "We signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed or watered or treated like human beings." The darkest and most damning part of this entire article is this one paragraph. Like many of the people who appear in MrBeast's YouTube videos, some of the contestants said they needed the cash to pay for things like student loans and medical debt. After learning they would be competing against twice as many people, some said they felt they had been misled about their odds of winning. This one paragraph quite simply illustrates everything I despise about MrBeast. While Jimmy Donaldson is using these individuals as pawns in a game for his own enjoyment and monetary gain, the individuals don't care about the game. Most of them are there to win the prize money, and after days of putting their bodies through torturous conditions, they could walk away with nothing. All the while, their likeness is being used by Jimmy Donaldson to make millions off of a YouTube video. I'm really starting to understand why Jimmy has such an obsession with Squid Games and Willy Wonka. It's almost like he enjoys using humans as toys for his own pleasure. Now this has been quite the summer for Jimmy Donaldson, and all these accusations from both first-hand reports and reputable journalistic outlets have all seemed to pile up onto each other in the past couple weeks. So how do you think Jimmy Donaldson responded to this vast number of serious and disheartening accusations? By uploading a classic MrBeast video demonstrating and visualizing every single accusation thrown his way in the past month.
I just built this bunker, and these two people who have never met each other are going to attempt to live down here for the next 100 days.
MrBeast runs on a tight schedule, and I'm sure most of his videos are filmed and edited months before they're released. But in classic MrBeast fashion, nothing could make him look more like a supervillain, cult leader, or something in between than his latest video, Survive 100 Days in Nuclear Bunker, Win $500,000.
This is our first time seeing the sun in 100 days!
In this one video, Jimmy Donaldson demonstrates his fetishization of money, his use of humans as props and disrespect for their time and effort, his obvious faking of videos, and his incessant need to promote his shitty products to children. Why don't we start with money fetishization?
The timer is now counting down. If you let that timer ever hit 0, your money will instantly be engulfed in flames, incinerating every single dollar of that $500,000.
The thing I hate about every single MrBeast video is that they have these elaborate ideas and sets built. Like in this video, a nuclear bunker was built, equipped with fish tanks, aquaponics systems to grow lettuce, and all sorts of other interesting features. And the idea of staying in a bunker for as long as you're willing is somewhat of an interesting video concept. But demonstrated in this video and every other MrBeast video, the focus is entirely around the money. The grand prize is $500,000. Let's put it all behind a pane of glass for you to stare at for 100 days. We're in a bunker with no sunlight or access to the outside world, and that could make for an interesting storyline? No. Let's focus the entire video on the fact that you have 60 seconds to stop the money from incineration every day. That's thrilling. It almost makes the entire concept of us being down in a nuclear bunker completely arbitrary. And this brings me to my next point, using humans as props. These people are to live underground in this nuclear bunker for over 3 months. But a majority of their time spent there isn't even filmed and will not make the final cut of the video. Literally 10 days pass, where we the audience see nothing that happens.
Actually, it was a phenomenal decision. You see, not once did they even come close to failing. Each day, getting to the hand scanner in under 10 seconds.
Rain, we got this alarm thing in the back.
Now it's like, don't get too bored in here.
So, with day 30's offer, let's see if we can take the difficulty up a notch.
100 days turned into a 30-minute video. For comparison, a show like Survivor gives about 40 minutes of screen time for just 2 days on the island. Because Survivor is more about the money. People don't just play the game for the money. They play the game, to be on the show that they love so much. If I had to be on that island for a month and I didn't win the grand prize, and the only thing that came of it was a 30-minute long video, I would be so upset. Something that I need to point out is Jimmy Donaldson's unbridled confidence in the promotion of his low-quality scam products, like Feastables chocolate bars. In the New York Times Exposé, they wrote that in the Amazon MGM Studios Beast games, the production staff passed around small Feastables chocolate bars, a brand created by Mr. Donaldson, and filmed some people eating and praising the candy, contestants said. And in the context of everything else happening in the Beast games, this is just embarrassing. But what do you know, he also did it in the nuclear bunker video. And not only did he also film people eating and praising the candy, he lied about it, overdubbing the contestants eating the bar to make them say, Feastables are so good, and this is great.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and if you answer correctly, I will not press the button for the next 10 days. You'll have 10 days off.
10 days free would be crazy.
But if you answer incorrectly, I'm gonna shave 5 seconds off the timer.
Oof, I think I know exactly what you're about to ask.
The question is, which tastes better, a Feastables chocolate bar or a Hershey's chocolate bar?
Pretty obvious. Feastables.
She's right. This is great.
Taste test. Feastables chocolate covered donut. Oh my God. Feastables is so good.
I think. This brings me to my last and greatest issue with this video. The most frequent criticism I've heard about MrBeast videos. And that is, especially with this recent video, every single thing is fake, scripted, overdubbed, producer initiated. None of this is real, I think.
I get there, and at first it's fine. And I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, you know? Which that's probably not good, you know, the smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It got to a point where, like, they weren't turning the lights off. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
Just listen to the first 30 seconds or so of this video because the overdubbing and ad-libbing for the contestants is so overdone and scripted, it's hard to watch.
I just built this bunker, and these two people who have never met each other are going to attempt to live down here for the next 100 days. Take your blindfolds off. Hugo, this is Rain. Rain, this is Hugo.
Nice to meet you.
This is our first time ever meeting. And this is the nuclear bunker they will call home. Everything you would need to live for the next 100 days is in this bunker.
Dang.
You can even grow your own vegetables.
Oh, cool.
And if you come over here, you'll find your bedroom, all 40 feet underground.
Wait, what?
Oh my God.
Above you is a bed,
Nice.
and here's another bed. And most importantly, over here is your $500,000.
Dude, it's real.
Well, it better be.
If both of you stay in here for 100 days, you keep it. But if one of you leaves, you both get nothing.
We are not leaving.
100 days, you could have $500,000.
Wow.
That's so much money.
Okay, let's see if they survive 100 days.
But it gets even worse. There's a fake slap.
You're a monster. I don't like you, dude.
Towards the end of the video, there seems to be some AI voiceover being used for the overdubbing.
And someone that really pushes me to just be the best every day.
Hey, dude, that was nice of you.
Oh, well, you weren't supposed to hear that.
The weirdest and fakest part of this entire video is the really weird secondary plot taking place, in which the two contestants have some sort of beef between one another, and the woman is made out to be some sort of terrible person.
You're not gonna help her?
Nah, you got this.
Thanks, Rain.
I'm gonna do cartwheels.
Oh, this smells. So, I don't know why, but I asked Rain to give me a haircut. And of course, she messed that up too.
Destroying Hugo's hair was the last straw, and his morale was at an all-time low.
I think I want to leave.
Go ahead. The money's gonna burn, and we'll both win nothing.
Now, I believe she's in on it. Not just the subplot, but the entire video. Her name is Rain, and she's been in a MrBeast video before, and she also has 1.7 million TikTok followers. That's weird. Now, the other contestant, Hugo, from what I can tell, is not a popular online figure. His Instagram doesn't have many followers, so I am inclined to believe he is just a normal fan of MrBeast who made his way into a video. And that's further proven by Rain saying,
"This is such a crazy opportunity for him, and he's the biggest fan of MrBeast, so he's gotta win. They picked like such a good person for this video."
Further advertising to the audience that as long as you're a big fan of MrBeast, you could win a bunch of money. This hate campaign against Rain continued in the comments, so much so that it almost seems like MrBeast is botting his comments. Hugo carried, Hugo carried, blah blah blah, Hugo carried, Hugo carried, blah blah blah, carried, Hugo carried, Hugo carried, Hugo carried. Weird. Jimmy Donaldson and the MrBeast brand and production company is weird. This video entirely was weird.
You know it, you feel it. These guys are creepy, and yes, just weird as hell. That's what you see. That's what you see.
And this realization isn't just hitting YouTube. It's not just hitting mainstream journalistic outlets. It's hitting Jimmy Donaldson's own die-hard fans. What happened to his old, simpler videos? These new videos feel much more like reality TV, but without the skill of experienced editors to pull it off. The amount of audio pickups and added audio is excessive and poorly executed. Stop trying to mimic reality TV and return to a more natural style. It's YouTube. Embrace the platform's authenticity. Honestly, it seems like MrBeast's editing team just made it seem like she's a shitty person for the storyline. This video's narrative was so forced, and MrBeast's voiceovers spoon-feeding info saying Hugo really hates her doesn't help too. I did not like this video. I'm not even done with it, but it feels super scripted. I want the editing to go back to what it was 3 to 4 years ago, when it was simpler and not so fancy and flashy. It 100% feels fake. This is definitely one of MrBeast's worst videos. And at 2 million dislikes, this isn't just a few people saying these things. It's a near consensus opinion. MrBeast has flown far too close to the fabrication's sun, that even his most die-hard fans, the people on r/MrBeast, are getting sick of his antics. MrBeast is everything I hate about YouTube in 2024, and luckily, I am far from the only person who feels that way. Thank you for watching North Star Radio. Peace and love. Free Palestine.